often wonder how many of the people that they question and or take into custody are really in a position that they would follow through or could do something. Because I'm sure they go, this person's harmless, but, they said something stupid, they're emotional or whatever.
Yeah.
But you do think, because you only ever hear about these things, though, for real, when they go bad.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise, you never hear about them. And you often wonder, there's a new movie coming out. Oh, God, what's her name? Chastain, is that her name? Jessica Chastain?
Jessica Chastain.
Where she is a person that plays like an FBI agent that infiltrates like radical groups who are trying to blow things up and kill things or do certain things. And, it's a show, it's a movie that basically wear and tear on her life. But I think in like the trailer, she says, yeah, people only ever hear about my job when I don't do my job right. You're like, oh, yeah. I mean, that's unfortunate, but true. So I wonder how they must have took this really serious. Because sometimes people say stuff in the heat of a moment, not thinking they put something out on Facebook or Twitter. And
that's the thing, though, is they have to take all of them seriously, because if they don't and it does go sideways, that's the example of I didn't do my job right. But yeah. I bet the vast majority of people are just spouting off and trying to act tough. But you don't know that until you go in and investigate and find out if they're a nut.
And you got to find out if they're a nut. And there's a lot of nuts out there. That's, a lot of countries have guns. I do have a serious question about what is wrong with our society, though, where we have so many people who feel the only thing they can do is this. You don't see this really anywhere else. Oh, once in a while you'll see it, and you'll see some stuff that, and when people talk about the machete attacks and all those kind of things, those are usually extremists who are doing something in the name of or because they're angry about something. It's not because they're depressed or they want attention. Like a lot, because I still think this guy wanted attention as much as anything else. But what is it about our society where we have so many people who are unhinged, it seems? Are there that many people that are that close to popping off? It would be nice to know.
Yeah.
If somebody's at any given moment about ready to go, it would be nice to know. But it's an odd thing because, I was listening to Jacob Fry. Is that his name? Is his name Frey or Fry, the guy from Minneapolis? I think it's Frey.
Oh, the mayor?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't think I've heard his name
said. And, he did say, why us? And I think that's a question that's serious. Why us? Why don't we see it a lot in other nations? Yes, you'll see it occasionally. I mean, it's not like, we're just talking about Breivik or whatever his name is, that nut job, Anders Breivik in Norway, who killed 77 at a camp in Norway. And I think that was, it was like a Indian or a Muslim summer camp that he went onto this island and killed all these people. But that was ideology based. But mental illness based, why do we have so many people young people in particular, who are struggling that much? I was telling the kids the other day, postal. Remember when we used to, that guy went postal? Because we had a rash of people in the 80s that worked for the post office, and it was like, man, the post office sounds like a horrible place to work.
Yeah, that one in Edmond, Oklahoma.
Yeah. How many of that person?
I got to look that up.
That was, somebody said something about the shooting in Kentucky in 97. He said, well, there was only 3, killed and 5 injured. And I said, well, this is another horrible thing, but the statistics for a lot of these people, they're looking for a number. And so is the media. And we've talked about this on the show. I'll pull the curtain back. There are times when you go, oh, how many people were shot? How many people? Because unless you live there, it's not going to get, it's not that of importance. Something like yesterday where there was 20 and stuff, that became a much different thing. But there's 20 people shot in Chicago over the weekend.
Patrick H. Sherrill, a postal worker, shot and killed 14 people in the Edmond, Oklahoma post office on August 20th, 1986. And then he committed suicide right after the shootings.
Yeah. There was a time there we had postal people and day traders who lost all their money. That was a big one, too. There was a couple of those. I think it was one in Atlanta. That guy went crazy. He went to several locations. That was, ooh-wee.